Hi, welcome back to the channel. It is Motivational Mondays. I'm going to try something different and start posting my videos in the evening. And so I want to ask you a question as we delve into our topic, and it is, have you ever felt lost or alone during a big transition or right after you've had some sort of move or some sort of life change? Today, we'll talk about how to build a solid support system during big changes and where you can find new communities, how these connections can transform your journey, and just steps you can take to just continuously make sure you're connected. And so I want to share that your first system of support is you. That's a huge one. And so it took me a really long time to recognize I'm my own support system, right? That includes things like journaling, that includes things like meditation and deep breathing, that includes knowing when to take a break from areas where I serve and just do some self care. And so, for example, I share a lot about how I moved from where I had been raised 13 hours away, and I had to learn to trust myself. But first, I tried to connect communities. I was trying to find that support system, and I didn't realize that I was in a time of development, transition, and self development at the same time. Because before you can connect to other people, sometimes you need to take the space to re get to know yourself in this new place. And so, yeah, again, I want to encourage you to practice things like journaling, just things like you can practice stretching. And I mean, like small snippets, 5 minutes a day can be really life changing, right? It's just deep self care. The next way to find new communities is going to be online. You can use social media, hashtags to look up communities. So, like book clubs is a great example of a community you can connect to online or in person, right? And the way you can search those out is you can put the city that you're in and you can just start looking for like hashtags around that. Um, Another great thing to do is you can use different event apps to find out what the local events are, and you can go to them and maybe start just talking to people, meet somebody new who share like interests with you, right? You can explore online classes and virtual workshops, and mention that you've the way that you found them, right? Like maybe let them know, hey, I found you, I googled you, I googled communities around here. um so those are really good ways to find offline communities. You can look at the library. It's a really good resource, right? Volunteer organizations in your community. You can also look up local festivals in the city or the town that you live in. That's a good way to start connecting with new people and then find out some similar events that you can start going to. And so being in community is very important, especially when you're transitioning, right? So a good example of this is I moved to a new city um, from where I was had moved to previously, and I connected to a yoga community, and that was helpful. And so I don't dive in really quickly with people. So I connected, but I just continued to go. But it started forming a sense of community for me. And then I started going to extra activities that they were hosting. And I ended up going to a yoga retreat that was really, really good. I think that was last August that I went, maybe September. But again, I connected, I slowly built rapport, and then I just started jumping in deeper. And it really helped me not to feel as alone, not to feel like I totally didn't know anyone, right? I couldn't call anyone to meet up for coffee. I couldn't, if you don't have a community support system, you'll just start to feel really isolated. And what could be normal transitioning moments will start to feel overwhelming or more overwhelming than they actually are, right? And so you don't know who could become your lifeline in difficult times. You could meet a mentor this way by connecting to different communities where you live. You could just meet a good person to hang out with every other week just to connect. Again, this is all about how to find people when you're starting and over and how to connect to different communities. And so once you go to these different events, be proactive. Introduce yourself to someone, right? Ask questions, take initiative to follow up with someone that you meet with. Now, I really struggle with follow up because I'll meet someone and then I'll think they were just being nice to me and I'm probably getting on their nerves, whatever, whatever. Not knowing that they may be in need or looking for community or fresh community as well. Just because they're already rooted in community does not mean that they're not open to adding more people to their community. So don't talk yourself out of the follow up. Stay open minded, right? So be open minded to people who you wouldn't normally consider your tribe or your cup of tea, especially if you meet them at an event that's rooted in the community that you live in, right? And so, again, I just want to encourage you not to stay isolated when you're transitioning or when you're starting over. And I'm not suggesting that you have to go somewhere every day or even every week. You could just say once a month, I'm going to just connect in community, right? If you work from home, you could say once a month, I'm going to go work in the morning from a coffee shop. And that starts to kind of give you a deeper sense of community. You'll start to see the same people, right? Someone else may come in at that same time, and then you can start connecting that way. So, again, I just want to encourage you not to stay overly isolated. Use those self care tools, though. Use journaling, right? I have a journal. The link is in the description. But if you don't have, if you don't want to journal like someone else's journal, you can take a notebook, journal out your thoughts, journal out how you feel, how is this transitioning impacting you right now, things like that to just help you process and just stay connected and grounded to yourself as you make these new changes, right? And so I just wanted to share that with you because sometimes when it's us going through the transition, although these tips seem simple, you may not think about them, right? You may be experiencing anxiety. So some of these tips may be escaping you. You may already know the information, but hearing it refreshed is always a good thing. And so I definitely want to encourage you. Check out my journal. It's 60 days worth of prompts, and it's designed to help you as you are starting to make transitions, as you want to re-get to know yourself. Sometimes when we transition, we have to re-get to know who we are on the other side of that transition, which is another video series, right? You can be who you are, grounded and rooted, but then you can make a move across town or across the world, and it stirs up a different part of you that you didn't know existed. You become a little more resilient. You have to learn how to navigate away from the communities that have always anchored you and supported you, right? You have to learn to advocate for yourself in these different environments. And thus, it's not that you're just so different, but it's that there's this different facet of you that has to emerge to meet you in this new place. That's a whole different conversation. And I just may make a note to talk about that as well. And that's something that oftentimes we get shamed for, like, oh, you think you all that because you moved. I don't think I'm all that because I moved. I think I'm all that not because I moved. 1A. B, because it's not about me thinking I'm all that. I had to become more resilient in this new place. I had to pull a different side of me out to be able to function and navigate this new place. This new place, the people are not the same as the people from where I'm from. And so I had to learn how to speak their language, how to navigate. Again, whole different video topic, but don't let anyone shame you when you have to evolve to meet yourself in this new place and to level up your mindset so that you can transition, so that you can rise, thrive, and flourish in this new place. That's a whole different topic for another day. Again, I just want to encourage you though, when you're starting over, definitely make sure to ground yourself in community. Start with yourself. Start with journaling your thoughts. Start with taking a few minutes a day just to stretch and breathe and just embrace the new flow that you're in, embrace the new place that you're in, and try your best to really enjoy starting over. I think looking back, I had so much anxiety over starting over. I was not fully enjoying the start over process. And I want to save you from that. Enjoy your start over process. It can be fun. It's not all bad and it's not all hard, right? You get to explore a new place. You get to try things out in a new place. And so I definitely want to encourage you that while you're trying out new things, to try new communities. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Motivational Monday. Drop a emoji, drop a comment. Have you ever transitioned and felt alone? Let me know in the comment section. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Check out my journal, and I will see you tomorrow for my next video. Until then, take care.